Wow. Michael. Yes, man.
Stoyan Madanzhiev out of Bulgaria has won the World Series of Poker Online main event.
And I want to welcome you to this really nice session and with Stoyan Madanzhiev, who is, let's say, the biggest poker player of 2020.
I want the biggest one, yeah.
Yeah, he's the best at what he does at the moment. He won the biggest ever online competition and biggest amount of money won ever on poker, which we'll hear about it because, you know, it is a journey. It doesn't happen overnight. So we'll hear about his experience and all that. I wanted to share a few things and how do we know each other. You know, we studied in the same school, same city, in Haskovo. But before I go into that, hi Stoyan, welcome and thank you for your time. How are you feeling today?
Hey man, haven't seen you in a while. So nice to see you.
I know.
I'm feeling great. I was really tired the first days after the tournament because it was hard to sleep, you know, it was so amazing. But now I'm going back to my normal life and I feel great.
Wow, that's awesome. And when you say about the tournament that it took days, how many hours were you playing?
I'm not sure about the hours, but I can tell you shortly. It was 3 days. The first one was like maybe around 10 hours. So in online tournaments, you have 5-minute breaks on every hour. So I have 5 minutes to rest and then get back to playing, and this continues for 10 hours. So
Wow.
that was the first day. I did really good, finished second in chips or something. And then I had a week break, and then it was day two. Day two was really long. I didn't expect it to be so long, but in day two we started around about 1,200 players started the day two, and we finished with 38 players left. So you can imagine how long it was. It was we started around 9:30 p.m. and finished 9:30 in the morning. It was like 12 hours and I was so exhausted, but I finished with a great stack, so I was really happy, and then started preparing really hard for the final day.
Bravo. That's awesome, really. Well, what can I say? This is a big commitment. You know, you've been spending the last 12 years. That's what I know. I don't know before that. Okay, let's just get straight on this. Short story, because it's funny, because I checked our messages with Stoyan, and the last time we were talking about on Facebook was football, you know, soccer. We were arranging teams and playing back in high schools. That was literally 10 years ago, 10 and a half years ago. And after that, you know, both of us took our own direction, and here we are now today. So yeah, after school, you know, we did theater, various projects, you know, having fun, partying, playing football and so on. What did you study? Did you study poker in university, or you had a different degree? I know you were a programmer and you were into that, English programming. So I was imagining you would be an IT guy, but suddenly...
Yeah. Yeah, in our school back in the days when I was really young, I was studying software engineering, but my passion was poker since then. I found poker pretty early in my life, and this absolutely hooked me because it was a strategic game. I didn't expect that poker has so much strategy in it. And I always liked games like that. I was competing in other games also before that. I like sports also, like soccer, but in all these games you have some strategy involved. So maybe that's my passion to be creative in something, and poker gave me that thing. And yeah, once I got into poker, like it was my main thing, and all the other stuff I did was on the background, like not really involved in that. Of course, I had to finish school, but my passion was poker.
Mm-hmm. So the school and poker, they were not interfering. They were working together, and you managed to give them equal time.
Yeah, I gave school the time it needed to make it happen, but I was not really passionate about software engineering, so I didn't imagine myself becoming a software engineer one day. And I really imagined myself being a successful poker player. I remember that I was dreaming for making 1K amount or something, and that would feel amazing. Now things are way bigger.
Way past that 1K.
Yeah. But I can really remember those times when I was really young, because in our country, $1,000 is just enough to make a great living. Mm-hmm. And I was imagining this number somehow, but I was really young. Then I started being successful in poker, actually, because I'm talking for the times where I was still learning the game. I was not really good at it. I felt that I have the skills, but I need to develop them, and that took a lot of time.
What year is that? What year are you talking about when you decided that I'm going to be a poker player, that's what I'm going to be doing in life, and I leave software engineering, I leave school, and that's it, that I'll commit to? When was that? How long ago?
To be honest, I started around 2007, but at the beginning I was playing tournaments with no money. It was free rolls, and they're basically designed to introduce you in the game. And then I started with those. I won some money from those free rolls. Basically, I never in my life invested $1 into poker. I started with free rolls from the zero. When I was 18, I had some builded bankrolls from these free rolls, and I was happy to start on my own with these bankrolls. And from then on, I just continued growing and becoming better and better. Of course, I had some difficult times, but all the years I was getting better, and at one point this just exploded, and this happened.
Exploded. Well, it's the funny thing. Have you actually expected it? When you say exploded, did you think that you're gonna win this, that you can be first, or you were just aiming for top 3, or you had it in your mind that you're gonna be a winner? I'm gonna be the best. That's it.
Yeah. No, I tried to stay realistic about it, because if it's cool to be like motivated to be first and stuff, but I didn't want to bullshit myself, because I think this way I can get too emotional if things are not going well, and I see that I'm going away. I mean, if I will lose some chips, and this might give me some emotions which I don't need. So I just try to stay realistic. Because I really understand poker, I knew like all the time approximately what chances I had to win the tournament. And until day 3, you can never say you have some huge chances, because there are still 40 players left, and this is a huge competition, the last 40 players. So I just try to play my best to give myself the biggest chances I can give, and just make everything which I know and try to play as good as I can. And yeah, this time it worked. I mean, I could have some bad luck and and lose it, but this time it worked, and I'm really happy. I mean, at the final table, I can say I was confident that I had a really good chance because I had the chip lead. I saw how my game is better than my opponents. They were too passive, I guess, not fighting so much for the win. Maybe that's normal in some situations. And yeah,
Especially, yeah. No, especially if it's a final table, let's say that's the final round and everybody's worried and they all want to bet on the best hand, on the most secure hand. But so from what you just said, I just want to sum up for, the people who would watch this video. So you started about 13, 14 years ago. You choose it that this will be my career path. And at that time you started with $0. So sometimes you really don't need a big investment to start what you believe in. It's just about the passion. It's about loving it. It's about liking what you're doing. So starting 13, 14 years ago, then you decided that one day that would be your career. The best thing that I've learned from what you said just now is to be realistic, which sometimes, we have this cliche that don't be realistic because it will just keep you where you are and there's no progress. Well, at some point it's really good to just see what you have and work with it. Be real about those things and don't overestimate yourself. So you get disappointed, and as you said, you get emotional. And when you get emotional, you can't make rational decisions. You can't make the right decisions. And then it won't get you on the final table in anything that you do. The other thing that, because you said you started investing in yourself. So you committed time. I want to ask you, did you read any books? Did you meet any people that know about poker? Did you change your friends? Did you change your environment? And yeah, how are you maintaining this knowledge, this passion? Is it every day? Is it once a week? All these things. How many hours of poker do you spend? And
yeah, I should start from the beginning, I guess. When I started, and I told you about this period when I got passionate about poker, I was thinking constantly and non-stop about poker. Like literally I was waking up and going to bed thinking about poker, like different hands, different lines, all the strategy. And back then we didn't have these softwares we have nowadays for analyzing the game and stuff. Sometimes I would just pick up a deck of cards and organize different situations and think on them, what should I do in this situation and stuff like that. But I like that. I mean, I didn't do it because I understood this is a work which I have to do to become good at it. I just enjoyed all the analysis I was doing because the feeling of me getting better was giving me so much confidence and more passion for the game, because I wanted to compete and try the new strategies. And that continued basically through all my career, because I was always active and always trying to get better. The ways of getting better in poker are so many. Like, as you said, it's important to have some circle with people who have similar interests. I guess I had this maybe in my later years. At the beginning, I guess I was a little bit more the lone wolf. But this made me organize my own way of playing. But maybe when I started communicating with other people, then my game started escalating a lot also, because you see different point of views. And the other important thing, which maybe it's specific about poker, is communicating with other people makes you understand how they think, because you play different guys all the time. You meet different players. Someone is more aggressive, he wants to gamble, someone is more tight, he's there to win some sure and secure money. There are all kind of people, and communicating with these people, you understand how they think, and you can use that as your advantage on the table. So when I started communicating with more players, good players with different styles, this helped me like build up my game a lot.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Wow, that's very nice. So see, and this what you just said is not just about poker, you know, having those people skills, being able to read people, but it can be applied to anything. You know, it will definitely make your communication better, to make you better as a person, you know, in the environment that you're at. But the thing that I remember from the last thing that you said, you mentioned bad luck. I'm sending you back there, but you don't have to worry about bad luck because, and you weren't lucky. There is this thing that I believe, you know, it's my opinion, and I'm pretty sure you guys would agree, it's about the preparation. And as you already said, when you prepare, with every single day you invest time, you get better at something, it's not about luck. Because luck is going to be once, luck is going to be twice, but you to be on the final table out of, you know, 1,500 people, and that's the ones that made it to the tournament, not the ones that really tried to go into, you know. There are all so many players around the world that really want to be there. So it's about your effort every single day that you put. And, you know, when you love something that much, to wake up with it and to go to sleep with it, and just, you can't wait to wake up and just do something about this thing. This is your call, you know, that's your dream, that's your direction of life. So yeah, remember guys, the preparation, it's every single day, you know, it's not today I'm gonna take a day off. It's every single day you try to squeeze some time for yourself to get better in something, because you know, if you're not doing the work, there's someone else who is doing it. Someone else is getting better at it. And once you guys all meet on that final table, you know, on that final run, you know, final competition, or when you're comparing projects and skills, that's when this preparation comes out. The luck is about you to be chosen to get on the first level. But after that, it's all about your homework, you know, what you've done at home. Something that I also wanted to ask you, because to be what you are and to get where you are, you need to have habits. Can you share 3 things that you changed your life, you know, that you decided, I'm not going to do this, I'm gonna do that, you know, about discipline or consistency or eating healthy or sleeping early? I know with poker, sleeping is also a little bit like programming, you know, you have it and you don't, depending on when you play. But what are these 3 things that you can share with us, so, you know, from your experience, so we can take it into our life, you know, into whatever we're doing?
All right, I'll try that. From my perspective, with my different people, different things work for everybody.
Absolutely.
But for me, I try to point 3 things which were helpful for me. The first one I will point is consistency. Like I told you, I was passionate in what I did, and I didn't really struggle working on my game, because for me it was a fun process. Even the hard work, like working with softwares, analyzing different hands, there is some like mathematics stuff you have to do. Even that was fun to me, and I was consistent of doing that, because in poker, like in everything else, the best part is just playing. This is the most fun. You sit down on the table and start competing with others. But for sure, if you're more prepared, then you have an edge. And I understood that, and tried to always make my game better in some way, like always constantly working. Like most of the guys, when they finish the session, they sit down and watch some shows, some TV, or go out, have some drinks. That's cool. It's all about balance, of course. You need to have that too. But they are a little bit lazy, I would say, most of the people. And I just like I didn't even have a schedule like now. I'll do that 3 hours a day. I'll do that 2 hours a day or something. Like I just understood it's important to work, and I constantly work. If I didn't work for a while, I started feeling it in the game that I'm getting rusty and stuff, and then I am back to in the lab working. That was for me consistency, like always trying to be better, and if I'm not doing so good, I look for the mistakes in myself, not saying I'm not lucky, I'm unlucky and stuff like that. Of course, very often this is the reason, but I always try to see if I could make something better. And this is probably point 2, like the second thing I want to point. Look for ways to always become better at what you're doing, even if it's not poker or something else. I believe it's a similar process. When you do that, you're always progressing constantly, because you're looking for ways to play always better, and if you're not doing it also, you get rusty. The game evolves constantly, and you're behind it. This should never happen. So I was always like that. Like myself before 10 years was completely different self. I always had this passion to get better and better and better, and I always looked for different ways. Either it was a video, either it was some specific type of analyzing, and it continues right now also. Okay, I have this status of World Series of Poker Champion, but that doesn't mean I'm perfect or something. There's so many things I want to do right now after all this is a little bit calmer and I have more time. I have some analysis on the back of my mind, on the background, which I want to do and become even better. For me, it's always like that, getting better and better. So try to think what are the things which are stopping you, and work on those. And it's a very natural process of becoming better. There is not a way that it couldn't work.
Thank you.
Third, what
third one?
The third one, always stay positive, I would say. Don't get too emotional if things are not going well. Don't forget that you are alive, and this is the biggest thing we have. And this will stop you from depression in hard times and bad times in your life. So always look for the positive side in things. Like in poker, you constantly get in some downswings, in some bad periods where you lose money, even if you're playing good. That's the nature of the game. Many people get depressed in those periods. They stop believing in themselves, and this is a very result-oriented thinking. Again, be more rational in similar areas like poker, and understand things. Like don't act from your emotions, and stay positive. This will make it feel good, and you will enjoy everything, I guess.
Yeah, thank you. That was amazing. Seriously, I'm taking it for myself. I even wrote it down, and I'm just gonna tell you guys the 3 things: consistency. Watch the video again to hear what he said about consistency, about the examples he gave. Look always look for a window of improvement every single day. As we spoke earlier in this video, it's about every day looking how to attack your craft, how to get better into whatever it is that you love doing, and staying positive. Staying positive in a way not to get emotional. You know, you can have emotions, of course, but don't get too emotional, because then you get distracted. Then you become different. You're not rational. When you're emotional, you're not rational. You can make the right decision. So stay positive, but don't get too emotional. And I just wanted to say, because talking about this, and I'm just imagining you on the final table, how you go, you know, from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1. And how is your heart? You know, tell me, when you were the last two people playing, how is your heart rate? It's something that doesn't happen every day. You know, you're not yourself.
Yeah.
Can you share just a little bit about that feeling that was right there, right before the finish line, when you're already so far and you said, man, I've spent 10, 12 years for this thing, and now, you know, my life changes. Now this is it's a winning that it really gives you a huge, a straight line of life. You know, you can just get it a little easier from now on. You don't have to worry about financial part. You can just work on you, family, and helping people, and so on and so on and so on, whatever. But how was on that moment right before you got it, if you remember?
Yeah. Well, just from the start of day 3, we were already guaranteed $50,000. So if I finished 38, I would get $50,000, which is still huge, at least for me. So I had 1 week to prepare for this moment, and it was really interesting. I knew there will be a lot of emotions, because the pay jumps are huge. This is the biggest tournament in online history. And I was doing a lot of meditation, a lot of yoga. This helps a lot for the emotional part before the tournament. And I organized my working space just to have the best I can have. And once the tournament starts, I just try to be as focused as possible. So, you know, this is the World Series of Poker main event, the most important tournament probably in your life. So I focused so much that I was a lot in the game, I would say. Even when the final table started, and I could see on the screen how the pay jumps rise from $200,000 to $300,000 to $500,000, like huge money. And, you know, I just was looking at those numbers and could feel how the emotions in me start to rise. And I tried to stay away from that, actually, and bring my awareness back into the game, into the hands, into the ranges, following what people do. And I maintained such a focus that until the final hand, I didn't let the emotions take over me. And once I played the final hand, like, the girl went all in on the turn card, and I snapped code because I had the best possible hand in this current situation. So there was a 0 chance I am losing, and she just went all in, and I realized it's happening, and I just called. I saw the river. It popped up like $3.9 million win. And I was just, wow, this happened. Oh my God. I just stood up, and all kind of emotions started going through my system. And I was like on drugs or something. I just couldn't believe this. I started screaming, jumping, just tried to use all this energy, because I never felt like this in my life, honestly. Like, all the time I was really focused until the last hand, even though I felt I had a huge advantage on the heads-up stage, 1 versus 1. But until the last hand, I didn't let myself get emotional or something. Once it was over, best emotions in my life. I was just laying on the floor, jumping, everything you can imagine.
Everything you can imagine. They push-ups and handstands and
Yeah. Push-ups, everything.
wow.
Great.
You know, you're giving me this warm feeling that the way you are saying it is we can imagine it. And guys, here is something. First, I want to say congratulations for that, seriously. But guys, imagine having that feeling every day. Obviously, we're going to lose it. We're not going to appreciate it. That's why it happens once in a lifetime, or you can achieve it a few times in your life. So just remember this past 5 minutes that he was talking about this experience. When I upload the video in the future, watch it again and see what that gives to your heart. Like imagining seeing your goal, realizing it's being right there to be the number one. But the best thing is he already knew it before it happened. So imagine how much preparation you need to put, how much effort of doing your homework at home, and studies and reading books and trying different strategies and all this thing on that. Before he even sees the last card, he already knew that there is a 0 chance. For me, I cannot say that. Even though I've been playing poker and I'm, familiar with the game, still not at that level. Look at this, guys. Just, wow, man, you gave me goosebumps. And I was just imagining the situation, dark room because it's night and you're playing and you're 100% in the game. You're not thinking about the money. That's another thing, guys, because money really gets you emotional because you start connecting them with things that can make you happy, because money can buy you a momental happiness. And if you think how you're going to spend this, amount of money, whatever you're about to win, that can take you from the final goal of being the greatest of your, of your lifetime, the greatest in this game, the greatest of what you're doing. So the thing from what he just said is about really keeping your focus. And it's ain't about 50,000 or 1 million or 10 million. You're the same person you were yesterday, just different emotions, a lot of hormones going in your body, and you're getting, crazy and so on. But you gotta keep down, humble. That's what I got from you, from what you just said and the way you explain everything. Stay humble, guys. This is the 4th habit, or the 4th thing that he just wanted to tell us, and he just said it, is stay humble. No matter, don't let outside environment change you, who you are inside. And as we can see, Stoyan, you're the same person, because that's probably a week or 2 later, he's here with us and sharing his story, shared how he made it. And there's nothing more inspiring from hearing a real story of somebody, not reading it through the books, because in the books sometimes, they put colors, they put things that they're actually not there, but just to make it more entertaining and interesting. And this is the real thing right now. Thank you seriously for that.
Pleasure, man. Thank you so much for the kind words.
No, absolutely. Well, you deserve them. I hope one day we, the people that are going to watch this video, we would love something so much that somebody else will tell those words to us. And it's well deserved. So take all the positivity, all the good things that are coming to you, all the good words, all the greetings, all the love, all the hugs, whatever people are giving, you deserve. You've earned it. You've been working. The other thing, I've been following this guy on Facebook and Instagram, always like his content. I see that he's playing poker and so on. But there is one saying that I just want to share here, guys. Don't share your road, just walk it, just walk onto it. And I'm just going to say it in Bulgarian. Не споделяйте пътя, просто вървете по него. And yeah, so he was never saying that I'm going for World Series of Poker. I'm going to be the winner. I'm going to be this. He's just working. He's the quiet warrior. And those are usually the people who make it. Those that we see a lot of stars going around, it's something. He was building a strong foundation of steel, of hard concrete that will keep his body, his house nice and stable before he goes out there on the field and compete. And I'm just gonna move to the next question. We don't have a lot left, but now it's just more relaxed. It's not about the studies and poker and the game itself, but how does a winner's day go? Right now, after you've achieved your goal, and what's next? have you thought of what's next? But how does your day go? You start breakfast, you sleep longer, or you meet more people, you don't meet more people. How is the day of a champion, let's say? How does it go? Does anything changes after all that?
Yeah. Well, what should I say? I don't feel like I'm changed like completely or something. I'm still in core, I'm the same person. Of course, this gives you this feeling of being safe financially, because it's a huge money, and you can just, if you're taking a rest, there is not this on the background, okay, I have to work, I haven't done anything useful today, I need to get up and work, stuff like that. But at the same time, I'm the kind of guy who if I stay for too long not doing anything, I just can't do that. I need to do something, and I'm preparing for the next ones. There are series right now in Poker Stars, so I will be playing some tournaments on Sunday. I'm preparing for those, and I'm enjoying my free time also. I made some good friends and shared my good vibes and emotions with them after the win. Didn't throw a big party yet, but I'm waiting for my bracelet to come in Bulgaria and do that, and invite the closer people of mine to it. It will be amazing.
Nice.
I went back to Haskovo, our hometown, to see my parents because they were so happy about me.
I was going to ask, how did they react?
Yeah, I didn't expect them to understand what's going on in the beginning, but when I told them World Series of Poker Champion and the money, they were so happy for me, because they saw me like a guy who sits on the computer so many hours and didn't really know what am I doing. I won some tournaments before that also, but smaller ones. They see that I could make a living of that, but now it was completely different. They were so happy, and the other thing is that many of their friends were calling them to greet me, to send their greetings, which made them realize even more how significant the win is. And they're super happy. They're constantly asking me questions about what happened, the tournament, and everything.
Nice.
So yeah, everyone around me is happy, and many people say how they got motivated, how they are inspired of my win, which made me feel even better, because I've always felt like playing poker is a little selfish, to be honest. Like, you try to be good in what you're doing, but now many people saying me how inspired they are just watching my hands, like my plays. Makes me feel good. I mean, that I can motivate people like that.
Well, you see, you motivate them by what you did. And the most important thing is that we see now, it's different when we see all the movie stars and celebrities out there. Some of them are just born with it. Some of them, they build it themselves. You're one of them, but it's different when the person that we actually know him, we might be sitting on the desk in school together. We've been sharing breakfast together. And you see that this person that you were walking through the school doors, he made it so far. So which means it really is possible, because we all have the same start. When you think about it, guys, we all have the same beginning. We're born, and then we have dreams, and then we go to school, and then we can either make it or we can just, choose a different direction. But it's easier to see that it is possible from the people we actually really know. And this is what you are for us, for Bulgaria. Whole Bulgaria would see now that Stoyan Madanzhiev, this name will stay in the history of poker. You'll be there on the list, and then that will make us very proud. And you made us proud, and you definitely motivated us, which thank you for as well. Absolutely, it's an honor for us to have this conversation. Do you remember, just briefly, just Shay, the hardest opponent that you play for and the biggest loss? What is your biggest loss? You know, the hardest moment that you had in poker? Because, you know, now we're talking about these great things that happened, but I'm sure you had some failures. You had the big downturns. In life,
Like,
in general?
in poker at all, or the tournament, or what?
Well, whatever you like, you can share first the hardest person you played with, you know, and what did you learn, if you remember. But in general, poker at all, because what was your biggest failure that you had? Not in this tournament, because that tournament, you know, it just escalates for you, but the biggest thing that hit you, that maybe shaken your world at some point in your life, that maybe made you doubt if this is for you or not.
Yeah. Well, 12 years is a long time, and I had many of those. I can't say which one was bigger or the most teaching me, but I'll share some. And yeah, well, first, the hardest opponent. There are different guys specialized in different formats. Some play tournaments, some play cash games. They are all kind of good players, and nowadays especially there are many solid players. Don't really want to point someone, because I can't say this one is better than the other one. Like different players are good in different, they have different skills but similar success.
The hardest moment. What is the hardest moment, if you remember? Maybe
Yeah, like in poker, it's not about just playing the game good, making the best plays with your hands, but it's also about managing your bankroll, because you have this certain money to invest in poker, and once you lose them, you have to start from scratch. So you don't ever want this to happen, because it makes the process really slow. So it's a really important thing in poker to manage your bankroll good. I told earlier, I started from the zero, playing 3 rows. Yes, this is a cool story, because from zero I made millions. But also this makes it a little bit slower. It's not something bad to deposit like some small amount, like $100 or something, which is not so significant about your financial situation. It might do the things faster. But the more important thing is, once you do have a significant bankroll, be really careful with it and not risk it, because then you have to start from scratch. I had a few moments in my career like that, maybe a couple of moments like that, where my bankroll went really down, but I never lost it all. You really need to be strong in those moments. For example, at one point I had like $50,000 or $60,000 bankroll in my early years. Like I was 24 back then or something like that. A bankroll with which you can do many things. You can go and travel for live poker, play some more significant tournaments. You can handle a few bad mounts or something like that. But what happened back then, the game changed, a lot of softwares got developed, and many not so much talented guys started getting good at the game fast. Because till 2014 there were not many softwares, and maybe the more talented guys were doing the best. But then when they gave us these tools, these analyzing tools, these softwares to study your game, your statistics, everything. I don't want to get into the poker language. Then the hard workers started to get a lot of advantage over the talented players because they had the tools to get this advantage. And this was the period where I was mostly trying to win by my talent, because I believe I had some talent for the game, but I was not using the best tools which are on the market, just believing I can do it by myself. And then the game changed super fast, the playing styles changed super fast, and I didn't really have the time to adapt, and I lost a lot of money in this period just because I was a little lazy, not researching what's on the market, not taking advantage of the tools which are there, and it's normal. And I then from $60,000 I was left with like 10,000 leva, which is like $6,000-7,000, and I was living on my own in Sofia, paying a rent and stuff. And it was a really challenging period because losing like almost 90% of your bankroll for such a short time, it felt just so tough. But what I did, I took what I have, I calculated how can I work with my bankroll, and then found ways to use that tools to make my game better again, can compete with the other players. This is probably the time where I started actually studying a lot the game and efficiently studying it, not just thinking about it, because thinking about it is good, watching poker shows is good, it can help you, but really analyzing it with what it's possible out there and optimizing the working process. This escalated me so much. And even though I lost my bankroll, big part of my bankroll, for a super fast period, I gained it back and continued to crush.
To crush, exactly, that's the word. Wow. So you're talking that through tournaments, you managed to gather this bankroll. That's for every poker player, they have this money that are dedicated to poker, to play tournaments.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. That's your poker bankroll, and you want to work with it. If you have infinity bankroll, you can play super expensive tournaments, and yeah, of course, if you feel you're good enough for the games. But for example, if there once a year or once a 2 year there is a tournament with $1 million buy-in, which is huge. Yeah.
Wow.
Probably many players, probably me, I'm profitable in this tournament because there are a lot of people who just played for the challenge, you know, a lot of billionaires, a lot of businessmen, and just to compete in the most expensive poker tournament against the best players. So probably I have an edge, but I would never play it at this point because I would never put so much of my bankroll at a risk for some big shot. Like, you need to learn how to work with your bankroll to save it and make it grow. It's important.
Wow. Here you just told us something else. Two things, guys. I'm gonna say we have 2 more questions and we are done with the video. Thank you for those of you watching so far. So follow the trend. This is something that I just got from you. It's this is also, I'm just saying that is because I met a guy. He's 75 years old, I think, living in a 3-story house right by the water, boats, it's a great house. It's $1 million, probably $10 to $15 million house. And I met him and I said, tell me one thing, what would be that thing that you would give me as an advice? Not only to be a hard worker, that's one thing, not to be lazy, but to follow the trend. He says, because once you fall back, once you just let it pass you by, once you leave it, and let's say whatever you want to be a poker player or a personal trainer, fitness instructor, actor, model, that industry, it has trends and things are happening right now. So if you don't know what is going on right now in your industry, then you're losing, you're falling behind. And then times will come when you're going to have to need that information if you don't take it right now. And those people who had it, they will take an edge. So this is another thing that we just learned, to follow the trend on your industry. And one more thing, money management. Have that understanding of really what you have and how to work with it, how to live with it. Because look at this guy, for example, now he won whatever million amount of money won, and it's easy just to go and give another million and shoot for 20, for 25. But this is the emotional and the greedy side of and that can really take you down. That's the emotional, guys. It could be a negative emotion, but could be also positive, and that could be the positive side, that you earn so much that you're overconfident in yourself, and that you're probably gonna make a mistake because that's not the right thing. Maybe you don't have enough resources at the moment and you're investing, as you said, you have a bankroll, but the bankroll also symbolizes our own life savings, guys. It's not just about poker, but in poker is called that because it's dedicated to the game and to your success. But also look at it as in your life. What is your bankroll? How much do you have there? Do you have 3 to 6 months savings that you can, at any point, if life just stops and you have no job, and you can really survive and you can continue? So think about those things, which we really can learn out of poker. And see, guys, I know we're talking about poker today, but it's life, and it's up to you how you're gonna take those lessons for yourself. Whatever Stoyan shared, because I'm just amazed that for 10 years, this man changed so much. And no, you're very welcome. I'm going to go with the second last question that we have here for you. Did you buy anything yet with the money? What was the first thing that you're going to buy, or you're going to wait for COVID to end to go vacation somewhere? If you want to share, I'm just curious. And I'm not going to ask you anything else, what you're going to do with your money. You're going to invest them, or you're going to keep them, or whatever it is that you like. But I'm just curious, what is this that you're going to buy? You're going to go and buy sneakers? You're going to go and buy new shoes, or anything that you've been craving? Or if you had a go, if you want to share it, feel free.
Yeah. Well, I'm
if you thought of
not. Excuse me?
If you thought of it.
Yeah. Didn't really thought about something specific. I just it's still fresh actually. I try to understand my opportunities right now and take a choice or something, organize my money, like should I start some separate business, should I try to compete in other tournaments more expensive. I have so many options right now, and didn't bought anything expensive yet. I might buy a new motorcycle or canoe kayak. I was about to buy. I could buy those stuff even now, but now it feels like a better time,
Well done. You just waiting for the right time. You well said. So yeah, guys, the right time will come when we're ready. Everything will happen to us when we're ready for it. It's up to us not to stop doing things. Sure. Last thing, have you thought of teaching poker online, writing a book, or anything like that? Are you going to do it? So for those that eventually will watch the video, maybe they know how they can reach out to you and ask you for poker advices, or have you thought of it?
Yeah.
To pass it on.
One thing I missed to say is that I actually started coaching people like 4 years ago or something, 2016. I started working with some guys. This actually helped me a lot because I understood what difficulties the beginner players have, and I used that also in my advantage because I knew where other people might struggle. But also helping these people grow, thinking about the processes they need to do, helped me build a more structured process for myself. I understood better what I am doing to be successful, because there is difference between being good and be able to teach someone to be good. It's another skill. So teaching guys for 4 years playing poker, giving lessons, and all kind of coaching helped me improve also. And now I don't know how I will continue. I'll probably continue to do some coaching. But what I did is actually I recorded my screen during the last part of the game, like the last final day. And maybe I will launch some video series with my thinking process. It will be poker specific, of course. Trying to describe as better as I can what led me to taking those decisions. The tournament was really representative for a poker tournament because I hit all the stages. Like I had a big stack, then I lost a little chips, and 12 players left. I was at the bottom of the rank list, but then build it up again. I faced a really good, like the best players in the world. I also faced some more recreational players who just had to work to get to this stage. So it's different strategy against all kind of players and different stages in the tournament. And I had all this in this tournament. So I think it's a really representative one. And I might do this video series. I'll probably, if I do something like that, I'll probably post on my Instagram page. You can follow me there for some information about this or anything else, which I will start. That's
Thank
it.
you. Wow. Well, those poker players, for sure, they look forward to what you're about to upload and post. And I'm really curious about your last hand. If it's anywhere recorded, I would like to see it. Have you shared it? Is it somewhere, your last hand?
You want me to retell it or share?
No, we'll just, if it's out there, the last hand?
Yeah, you can find it in the video of WSOP main event. They made a stream. It's like 7 hours or more longer, but you can of course forward it to the last part. You can see like the first hand I played was amazing. I had to fold a really strong hand to remain in the tournament because it could be all over in the first hand.
Wow.
But I survived. I made a really good fold. Many guys from the poker community were impressed by the fold. And then there were a few more really interesting hands. And the last hand, of course, the winning hand.
What did you?
I had the nut straight. I had 7-6, and the flop was 3-4-5. So I couldn't lose in this situation. The girl had pocket aces, a strong hand. She decided to go all in. She decided to go all in, and I could see the trophy.
Bravo. Well,
thank you.
No, absolutely. And one last thing, Daniel Negrano. Daniel Negrano is one of the biggest gurus of poker of all time, or of our time, I would say. Did he get in touch? Because I know he made a comment on Twitter, on LinkedIn or Twitter, I cannot remember. I think on LinkedIn. I'm not sure. But anyway, he said, I don't know what this guy is saying, but even if your bank account changes with some $1 million, you will be like that, because your face was phenomenal. You know, after
I saw it somewhere. It's a really honest thing. Maybe he had so much situations like that in his career, having so much poker winnings. I talked something on Bulgarian. I can't really remember, but it was mostly expression of my feelings, just shouting out. And I made an Instagram story because I was really happy and wanted to share these emotions. I didn't know it would go so popular, and even Daniel Negreanu will see it. They had a lot of fun with it. And Daniel is a nice guy. Maybe in future we will have some communication. I played him in the tournament. He had a few tables which I played against him. He's a tough opponent, of course, very experienced. But I think in the online environment I have more edge on him, so I'm confident with that.
Very nice. Wow. Well, he will be scared from you for sure in the future once you sit on one table. Well,
that's all poker is about, having a competition.
Absolutely. Well, guys, with this, we're just gonna end the questions from me. Do you have any questions for him? For those of you that are there, Radi, Eli, if you want to share something, if you want to ask him something, go for it. Now is the time, and after that, we're gonna just sum up the video, and that's it. And we'll let Stoyan go and win the next tournament. I know he has one on Sunday.
Hopefully. Thank you. It was a nice talk with you, man.
Thank you.
Really inspiring to listen to you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. We're definitely gonna meet and talk again. Now it's just, I really wanted to use the opportunity of everything being fresh and just happening now. And because that's the real emotion. When you share a real emotion that's coming from your heart, that's when people understand. When you try to recreate it and make it the same, if you're not an actor, which you are, you have some theater and acting skills because we did before, but I know this is not the case right now. Radi, Eli, if any questions, go for it. If you want to share something, any comments. Radina, she just messaged that she's very thankful for sharing that video, and she really felt the emotions. That's what we wanted to do. People to feel the emotions, so they can decide for themselves what to do with their life and the future. Okay, well, guys, with this one, we will conclude the video. I was planning to ask you one last thing of what is this your favorite goal and dream or habit and things like that, but guys, watch the video. I don't need to tell you anything anymore because he said it enough. I'm gonna watch this video again. I'm gonna watch it maybe another 3 times because I think I just got a lifetime lesson from this 1 hour that we spent here, and we really gotta be thankful for Stoyan, because think about it. Sometimes if you want to get in touch with those people that we see on TV, the celebrities, the stars in sports and actors and so on, it's hard because, they're busy. That's one thing. And 2 things is probably they've spoke about it so many times that they're even tired of sharing it. And it's not that they don't have the heart, and it's hard to get in touch with them. And this guy we're coming from the same time, we've been kicking the same ball, sharing breakfast together, and it's really nice to get that emotion. So keep it for you guys. And if you want to make a change in your life, don't wait after 72 hours. Take what it's now from this video and adjust it in your daily habits, in your, organize yourselves around that what you got from this video, because only then you're going to make a difference. If you wait for the next 3 days and you do nothing, most likely is your life will be exactly the same like before an hour ago of this video. So if you really want to make something different, start looking for those resources, those things that will make you different, will make you better. Well, I'm going to repeat, be consistent, look for way of improvements, stay positive, not emotional. Don't get too emotional. Stay positive, stay humble. Look at this guy. Stay humble. That's something really important. Don't to overestimate yourself too much. And yoga, meditation, organize your space. And these are things that he just talked about it today. So if we start from there, I think we can all make a difference. We can do better for ourselves and our families. Well, this is it from me, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you, Stoyan, again.
Thank you. I want to thank everyone and wish them such success and nice emotions. Work for them and they will come. Just do the right things. Everything will just be how it should.
Thank you. Well, we got all the lesson, guys. So thank you, Stoyan, again. I wish you all the best. Good luck on a Sunday, and we're gonna meet again.
Thanks, man. Good work to you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Take care. All the best to all of you.